through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A run for Nick Chubb, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 30 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He had gained really good yardage. That's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Jackson now. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
They go play action with Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
On 3rd down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Jackson toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's nearing 100 yards.
And haven't we gotten pretty close in this game nowadays? NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Jackson. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson, open receiver. That's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skills showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And he pushed it. Pushed it from short distance, wide right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now the throw hauled in by Green. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Jackson now on third down. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. This is Mixon on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Alec Ogletree in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now Jackson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Here we go. Here we go.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson going to throw again. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Jackson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing on second down. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 16 yards, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a second and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Miles Boykin. His second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Johnson. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Darqueze Dennard there to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Back now in Baltimore as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Ross on the return. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Jackson on 1st down. Got a man open. It's Ross. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure.
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Jackson looking here for Smith downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Got his man, it's Eifert. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Jackson. Throw left side, complete to Ross.
We got this.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Jackson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. And Jackson throwing once more. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go to Johnson again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
On 1st down, Johnson. And Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 39. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And they take a knee. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out